Well, I think this is a huge political crisis, and Netanyahu's in power almost 10 years, so this could be one of his greatest crises. And if we look at what's happened now, I mean, he is basically about to have to call elections, unless he can do some sort of crazy play where he tries to find another coalition partner, or he's able to kind of play for time into the new year.
So it's a razor-thin margin, 61 seats and 120 Knesset. The opposition, we've spoken to the Zionist Union, they're smelling blood.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, basically, everyone in this country seems to think there's going to be elections. The TV is already saying elections. People know that they have to come anyway, basically, in 2019. The question is whether they come in January, February, or whether they come in November.
So all of this, if we pull out a bit, the result right after that truce agreement with Hamas, was it a miscalculation on the part of Netanyahu?
Well, I think Netanyahu is interested in a regional strategy to confront Iran. And the whole irony here is that for the first time, Netanyahu, rather than being more hardline, tried to have a ceasefire after hundreds of rockets. And instead, it's ironic that Hamas may end up toppling his government. At the time when, Netanyahu is trying to do this regional thing, he's trying to reach out to other countries, he's actually almost playing more of a peacemaker. And in this weird irony, he may fall from power because...
So you're calling him a peacemaker, but he's known as Mr. Security here, isn't he? So if this does happen, if there are early elections in a zero-sum game, a victory for Hamas, what happens to Netanyahu moving forward? What happens to these right-wing groups, Bennett's group, Lieberman's group?
Well, the whole thing that's happening now is everyone's jockeying to see who's going to be on the right wing. So the problem with Netanyahu, as you said, is he wants to be Mr. Security, but actually now he's going to be portrayed as basically weak on security, and Bennett and Lieberman and all these people are going to run in to fill up that kind of right-wing void, and the Israeli public tends to vote more right-wing. So they're going to try to vacuum up all those votes, and I think that's why it's a double or triple crisis for him.
And the perception that the opposition is united might be unfounded as well.
Well, I think the opposition is not united. I mean, there's several Arab parties. They're a joint list now. They may broke up into a whole bunch of little parties. Yesh Atid is an opposition party. Labour, Zionist Union. I mean, there's a plethora of opposition parties. So that by the way, always, I think, benefited Netanyahu, is that the opposition is very weak. But the problem is now Netanyahu's real problem is in his own camp.
But because they're so disunited in the opposition, you can't write off Benjamin Netanyahu.
No, Netanyahu will try to, he's always been a kind of a great puppet master. He's a kind of brilliant genius politician. He's been in charge for so long. You can see how he's done it with a huge coalition. So he's going to try to kind of pull all these strings at the last minute. But I just think it's like, how can he do that once again?